What if I told you some of our best performing ads that have generated well over $350,000 in 2025 were generated by AI? Well, these days, probably not that surprising, but in this video, nonetheless, I'm gonna walk you through the entire step-by-step process of how to make one yourself. I'll walk you through number one, how I pick the right ad script, number two, the exact softwares that I'm using, and then lastly, go over the results after only running this Facebook ad for 6 days. Now, really quickly, if you're seeing me for the first time, what's going on? My name is Aaron Martinez. I work with a company called Closures.io. And all I do is nerd out about marketing and make a ton of ads. At this point, we're spending about $20,000 every single day. We did about $30 million last year, on pace to do the same, maybe a little bit more this year. And all I do on this channel is pass all my learnings off to you for free here on YouTube. So for real this time, let's jump over to the computer. First things first, why am I making these types of ads? And why are we duplicating this ad specifically? So if you've seen any of my other videos, we'll actually link one up top talking about the metrics and the metrics to look out for and why we make these different variations. But essentially, we're only going to make variations, like different versions of these ads, or more specifically iterations on these ads, when we've already proven that they've worked well. So the one specifically that gives me a really good sign about these is these two ads right here are the ones that are doing really, really well. They're actually our best performing ads right now. Both of them are Loom style ads. So essentially what that is, actually, let me just go ahead and play the ad so you can see exactly what we're duplicating today.
Hey, so if you sell a product or service online at $2,500 or more, I have the craziest offer for you. So here's a short version. We'll replace you with trained appointment setters or closers, which means we'll place them inside of your business. We're not an outsourced sales team. And if they don't perform where you completely ROI your investment with us, you don't pay anything.
So that ad has actually been running for a total of 59 days, which at our spend level of spending, at this point, close to about $20,000 a day across all of our different campaigns, this one's been running for almost 60 days at the time of recording this. This one has been running for about 44 days, which again, at that spend level, we usually have to refresh creative every like 7 to 10 days, which is pretty nuts for these to be running for that long. More importantly than that, one of the metrics based on the other video that I made is this one has a 4.31 14x ROAS and a lifetime ROAS of 3.4. So we're putting $1 in and getting $3.40 out. So we just do it 500 times a day and 1,000 times a day, right? On these two specific campaigns. So because we're getting this positive view from this, now we then take it to the next level of like, okay, cool. How can we just absolutely run this ad creative into the ground? How can we just make as many variations as possible because the market is resonating with it? If you've watched some of my other videos, you would see that one of the easiest ways to do that is to take the same ad and do it in different locations, doing it in different formats, and then doing it with different personality types, right? People that resonate with me are going to be very different than people that resonate with a woman, someone that's a little bit older, someone that's a little bit younger. So essentially what I'm going to do is we're going to take these two ads and completely duplicate them. So you've already seen what it is, basically just a Loom video going over a document, which that document is right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this proven script. So you would grab your same proven script of whichever ad you're going to do this with. I'm just going to copy all of this and I'm going to come over to ARCAD. So ARCADs basically is just creating different spokespeople, 100% AI, which is like pretty crazy how you can do these. And the benefit of this is if you see this ad, it's like this little thing down here. I tend to not do full-length ads with AI, but because this is a small little screen down here, it'll be a lot harder for someone to detect that it's AI when it's in a small thing down here. So in this case only, usually we'll only do the AI for hooks, but we're gonna do it for we're gonna do the full ad with this AI because it's gonna be so small. So with ARCADs, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up to a new project, and we are going to basically just paste the script. Oh, that is not the script. That is the link. So we're going to paste. So I'm going to copy the script and we're going to paste it over here. So the one thing you want to look at as you're reading through your script is anytime you're doing like numbers, like I would read this on a script 2,500, but you want to I don't want them to say 2,500. I would say if you sell a product or service over, and I'm going to write it out, right? 20 over 2,500 dollars. I had the craziest offers for you. 2,000 applications, 400. Yeah, so 0 to 30, and right here, so 30M. So it's not going to really $30 million. Because and then I wouldn't want them to say $0, so I'm just going to change that. Same thing here. We're going to just copy the $2,500. basically if it's $2,500 and sold on the phone or Zoom, this is for you. Why we could do this. Okay. So, you know, in the actual script itself, like I would ad lib around these and like kind of say it in the way that I would do it, but I just want to get a general idea first. So we're going to do that. So there's the script. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to add actors. And here's where you want to just have a mindset of what type of person can you choose that is going to resonate with your target audience. So if you're going after, let's say your target audience is stay-at-home moms, right? I would probably go with like maybe someone like this that has the dog. You know, a lot of them have dogs. We'll go with this one that has a dog. You know, this one here, right? Maybe this one, right? A little bit of older personality. So you just want to have that. And there's actually, they added this recently, is they have different like filters that you can use, which is actually pretty sick. So just for the sake of this video though, I'm going to choose one that we've actually used because we're going to use as an actual ad. I know this one for us has worked well, Charlotte. So I'm going to pick Charlotte. And then let's just go crazy. Okay, so I actually tried Helen before. The tonality, I'm not the biggest fan of hers.
Hey, you.
And then the other thing I'm keeping in mind too, I'm just like thinking out loud for you guys, is this one is like, I want it to almost look like they're at a computer. So this one is like kind of not, right? This is like almost like talking straight to camera. I mean, I think it could still work, but that's just something that I'm keeping in mind as I'm doing it. So let's see. So, you know, Olivia, maybe not, you know, for the sake of not spending too much time on this, let's just use that one that I just looked at just for the sake of this. Oh, some of them are pro. I guess I don't have pro version on this, but I have credits. So let's choose, oh no, Judy's pro too. Dang it. This one actually would have been good because she's on the computer. This one, it's pro too. All right, no, I don't like Helen. We already talked about her. Yo, Helen is going off.
Welcome.
All the computer ones are pro. That's annoying, bro.
Hey.
All right, let's use Nora to get a little bit of an older style personality. Okay, so once we do that, we have those, and I think we're just gonna click add actors. And then that's good. And then so we have those. And then the next thing we need to do is actually just verify the speech. So when I click play on this, it's going to process. So I'll probably pause it here for a second, but it's going to process when I click play, and I'll come back once it's processed. Okay, so it is processed. So now what I'm going to do is it processes the audio before it does the video because the video takes the longer time. So now what I'm going to do is just listen to it and see if there's any like discrepancies or things that I would change about it.
If you sell a product or service online over $2,500, I have the craziest offer for you. Here's the short version. We'll replace you with trained appointment setters or closers. We place them inside your business, and if they don't perform to where you completely ROI your investment with us, you don't pay. Who this is for: coaches, consultants, course creators, agencies, B2B services, high-ticket SaaS medical device sales. Basically, if it's $2,500 and sold on the phone or Zoom, this is for you. Why we can do this: we work with some of the top brands in the space. We've got hundreds of case studies to prove it. Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Cardone Ventures, and over 4,000 others. How it works. So
just for the sake of the video, I won't bore you through it. I'm going to listen to it. So let's just cut here and then I'll come back. So went through the rest of Charlotte. She's approved. Now let's listen to Nora.
If you sell a product or service online over $2,500, I have the craziest offer for you. Here's the short version. We'll replace you.
Okay, so this one's good. We got a little bit of an accent. If what you can, let me move my face out of the way, is you can change the speed. So if you wanted her to talk a little bit quicker, the stability, I think this would just be like the stability of their voice. You know, are they, you know, how quickly are they changing, right? Are they like speeding up, slowing down? So you can play around with these different levers. And then similarity, usually it's like variances based on, like, from my experience, if you're like trying to dupe a voice and make it sound more similar to like the voice, like your voice, for example, if you're duping your voice. So I'm not going to mess with any of these because these look pretty good. And we're basically good to go. So once all that is good, then this little button down here, you have to make sure that like you have to go through and listen to them before you'll get this option to click, because it's going to ask you to verify the voice. So voices are verified. Let's go ahead and click play. And we are going to credits needed only 2. So that's pretty dope. and we're going to send it, and it's going to check the content and make sure that it's compliant, it's not anything negative, and we'll go from there. So we'll cut away because this usually takes about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back to show the results. So about 4 or 5 minutes later, we are good to go, which I mean, this is, if we're looking at usually what we're doing is if we go off and get like a UGC, like I gotta teach them how to do it, I gotta run them through, send them a bunch of examples, wait a week. I'm going to take the 4 minutes over the week to get this up and running because we know this campaign's working. So it's just like, I want to jump on top of this as quickly as possible. So let's have a listen to what some of these look like and
a product or service online over $2,500, I have the craziest offer for you. Here's the short version. We'll replace you with trained appointment setters or closers. We place them inside your business.
Perfect. Looks good to me.
If you sell a product or service online over $2,500, I have the craziest offer for you. Here's the short version. We'll replace
So, in hindsight, now that I'm looking at these,
you with trained
we'll probably run this one. I don't foresee it doing that. I say I don't foresee it doing that well, but the marketing answer is always test these things, see what works. You just never know. Like some of the best performing ads that we've ever had, I mean, they were just ones that I was just like, yeah, this is never going to work. Like our entire team were like, no way that this works. And they become the best performing ads and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then some where we put a lot of time and effort into, super bullish on, it's like, oh, well, it completely tanked and didn't run past a day of testing. So ultimately, we're just going to test both these things. So basically now what I'm going to do is how are we going to do this, right? Because like the AI isn't going to do the screen recording, right? They're not going to do the Loom video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate it with them. So essentially, I'm going to pull this up because this was the original script or the variation that I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. We can probably hit it like 90%. Should probably be good. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up Loom and we're going to click Start Recording. We're going to click Share here and it's going to start. Now, I'm going to start talking to my editor just so you can really see the behind the scenes. Jeff or Neil, you're watching this, so I'm actually recording a YouTube video around this, so it might get confusing, but so those of you that are watching the video, essentially what I'm going to do and why this ad, in my opinion, has worked so well is because it just feels very organic, right? It doesn't feel like a straight to camera video. It's just like Loom recording, little thing here, cameras here, when in all actuality, it was like this version was a Loom video, but they did move the camera around and kind of manipulate it a little bit to keep it within the borders. So what we're going to do and where we have to get creative here is first, I'm going to make sure that this Loom UI, Jeff and Neil, you can actually cut this portion out. So if you need to like cut the screen there, that it should be fine. And then maybe put let me put this down a little bit. Or let me put it over 2. And then I'm just going to scroll down to make sure that this UI doesn't cover anything. So we actually have a little bit more room. Probably about there. Oh no. Are we going? Are we going again? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So it might cover right there, but that's completely fine. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I need to strategically play this Alexa volume 8 so that I can listen to
and
what
if they don't perform to where you completely...
And then I'm going to click into this. And I'm basically going to have to track her speaking. So editors, you might have to strategically do this to where it does pop up.
If
so
you sell a product or service...
I'm not going to be able to switch screens as fast. So I'm just going to do a little dummy recording right here really quickly and highlight this. So she's going to say, if you sell a product, I won't talk. Cool. So now they'll clip that part so that it's the background is this. And then it'll give me some time to be able to switch over. So we're going to play this, and I'll show you how we're going to do it.
If you sell a product or service online over $2,500, if you sell a product or...
You're getting the behind the scenes of how, this is not just like let's just like spend 2 minutes doing that. No, it's like, but keep in mind, I'm going to spend an hour on this total. Editors, maybe an hour as well. 2 hours to generate a couple $100,000. Not too shabby. All right, here we go.
If you sell a product or service online over $2,500, I have the craziest offer for you. Here's the short version. We'll replace you with trained appointment setters or closers. We place them inside your business. And if they don't perform to where you completely ROI your investment with us, you don't pay. Who this is for: coaches, consultants, course creators, agencies, B2B services, high-ticket SaaS medical device sales. Basically, if it's $2,500 and sold on the phone or Zoom, this is for you. Why we can do this? We work with some of the top brands in the space. We've got hundreds of case studies to prove it. Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Cardone Ventures, and over 4,000 others. How it works: every month we get 2,000 plus applicants, 400, 1,000 interviews. Then we hand select and deliver top talent to your team. No guessing, no random hires, just perfect salespeople for your team. You also get our onboarding plus ramp-up systems, sales scripts, tracking tools, and training. Everything we used to go from $0 to $30 million in 2 years. And again, if it doesn't work, you don't pay. Click the link below, check out the details, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right, so I kind of messed up here, so I'm just going to do another little record or a little highlight here in case they need to cut it in. Actually, they probably won't be able to because we want it to be like one take. But I think that was pretty good. So for the sake of this, I'll cut this so you don't have to watch it again because I'm going to do it with this other one. But I'll come back once we do that as well. Okay, so we got the second one recorded. I'm going to stop the Loom video there. I'm going to send that over to the editing team. And we basically I don't know how long this video has been going, but basically in a probably 20 to 30 minute period, have it duplicated, at least the recording section of an already proven ad that I know once it goes out there, it's going to do super well. So what I'm going to do is probably in the next 1 or 2 weeks, once this video is actually done, we'll get it done by tomorrow, is I'm going to splice in a separate video where we go over the results because I don't want to just like show you me making the ad. I want you to see how I make the ad, show you the finished product, and then I'm going to give you the actual results that we're getting from this. And hopefully this will show you that I'm not just here to talk the talk. We're here to walk the walk and show you exactly how to create these different variations so that you can also just duplicate your own creative process. So what we'll do is actually I will show the finished ad and then we'll show the actual results from that. So roll the actual ad.
If you sell a product or service online over $2,500, I have the craziest offer for you. Here's the short version. We'll replace you with trained appointment setters or closers. We place them inside your business. And if they don't perform to where you completely ROI your investment with us, you don't pay.
All right, moment of truth. Obviously you can tell I'm happy because my prediction was correct. Not sure if this video would have came out if it wasn't getting good results, and that's half a joke. I probably still would have made it and then just kind of reported back to what we were seeing in terms of the results. But I'm happy to say that this is probably on the road to being one of our better performing ads that we can run for a good amount of time. So that being said, let me go ahead and share screen and we'll get into it. So keep in mind, at the time of recording this versus the first part was probably about 7 to 8 days. We had to get the video edited, which honestly took probably about 24 hours, but then waiting until we needed more creative to actually put into the campaigns. And yeah, we're excited to share these results. So basically, if you look at these campaigns here, we have this one here, which you can see it is highlighted in green, which is always a good sign. Basically, hey, it's green, we're good to go. And everything's within KPI, it's performing well. So after the first handful of days of running this, so if I go here, so this has actually only been live for 6 days. Look at these initial numbers. So we are running at a 10.3x return on ad spend. So we put $1 in and get $10 out. Now here, I want to be clear, is I think there is an element of some luck to where these creatives got in front of the right people and they were the buyers. But you can see here is we actually generated 2 buyers right here from this specific campaign only being live for 6 days. So if we can compare that to, let's say, something down here where this has been live for 70 days and has generated 15 sales, right? Obviously the return on ad spend is a little bit lower just because we've spent more. It's been live for a longer amount of time. But I mean, this is looking pretty good, right? Tell me in the comments if you would put $1 in, or in this case, spend $2,979 to generate 30,000. Right, because that's basically what this is. Each of these sales were $15,000 sales, and ultimately we hit this 10x return on ad spend. Now I want to show you something very important here as to why you've seen some of my past videos. Maybe we can put it up on screen around like how we track our metrics and how we make decisions based on some of these campaigns. But if I come down here and I look at, let's say, yesterday's, not necessarily yesterday's sets. Let me just make sure I'm grabbing the right column here. So if we come down here and look at, let's say, our cost per lead. From 2 days ago, right? $497 was the cost per lead. But if we compare that to literally anything else, this is the highest cost per lead campaign that we have, right? So if I would have made the decision, or if we would have made the decision off of, oh no, this has a high cost per lead, then ultimately it would not be performing. Right? Same thing if we look at all of the front end metrics, right? The four-day cost per booked call, $400, right? In comparison, everything, I mean, this is honestly the highest other than this one, the campaign that we're cutting anyway. But I mean, again, the highest cost, let me just make sure I'm grabbing the right one again. I think it was 11, right? 11 or No, it was 10. So again, all the front end metrics look absolutely terrible, right? Last 14 days, which obviously this has only been running for 6 days, but still, when we look at this number, right, this is in 14 days, it looks pretty good, right? 291. But again, if we were only, let's say, got skittish and pulled the trigger, or I guess what's the difference between took our feet off the gas, then we wouldn't have been able to see the true the true ability of this overall campaign, right? But it's one of our best performing as of right now. Again, does that hold for a long period of time? I don't know, but just it out of the gates and it being able to us put in $3,000 or almost 3,000 and generate 15,000. I'd say that's a pretty legit return on investment. All right, so all that being said, if you enjoyed these types of longer, more in-depth videos, let me know down in the comments. I can definitely make more of these. This is honestly the videos that I like to create. Just YouTube, like I said at the beginning, doesn't really like these too much, but I enjoy making them, and I think they're much more helpful than like really high-level things that don't really go into detail on how to do them. Also, if you want to learn exactly how we can help you just create this entire system internally for your business, so you can predictably put $1 out and get a return. I'm not going to say 10x because I'm not guaranteeing anything. But I'll leave a link down in the description to actually just book a call with our team. We can have a chat if we can actually see if we can help you out. If not, all good. You can actually click the video on screen because this entire process I put into a much more in-depth detail of like how we find different people to create the ads and really run these creatives into the ground and get the most possible without having to create dramatically different ads. You can click the video on screen. You can check that out there.